Welcome to Indiana Sports Beat Radio, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Looks over the middle, second guesses, fires, throws. Does he make the catch in the end zone? Yes! Touchdown!
Oladipo to win it.
Another one!
He got
Another
it!
one! Another one!
Huge hole! He's at the 30! He's gonna go! 10, 5, touchdown! Jonathan Taylor!
Galloway finds Rob Finnessy, who fires the three, and
He hit it!
Now, from the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios, here's your host, Jim Coyle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome aboard. We've made it to the halfway point again. Amazing how we can do this. John, the producer, along right now. Bob Kravitz from The Athletic will be joining us. Kyle Neddenriep from the Indy Star. We'll see what else we can scare up. Brought to you by our good friends from Andy Moore Honda here in Bloomington, as well as BB's Market, all a part of the WOW Network. Make sure you are a member of the WOW Club. Do that for us, if nothing else. It costs you nothing, but they are a proud sponsor of Indiana Athletics. It's totally free. Just go to your Apple App Store, Google Play Store, sign up for the WOW Club card. It's not a card, WOW Club. Mainly, we're going to get you ordering some stuff from BB's this summer. Do some grilling, man. But when you're in the Bloomington area, you can also stop at any of the great restaurants, a part of the WOW Network, whether it's Southern Stone, Courtroom Sports Grill down in Bedford, Feast Market and Cellar, Cabello. You've got Metalworks Brewery coming along, Pizza Pazza. They got a lot of things coming that aren't already up and running. But like I said, support those who support you. If you're a fan of IU and you like this content especially, well, they're a big reason we're able to do this. So we'd greatly appreciate you at least signing up for that and using it whenever you can. Hey, another fun day up ahead. Another hot one out there. I did not think about doing much outside yesterday, I can promise you. Let's see. Today we're expecting in Bloomington a high of 95, 91 on Thursday, 90 on Friday. And then Saturday, holy cow, manna from heaven, baby. 82 degrees and nothing but sunshine. Wow. That is going to be what you call a Chamber of Commerce day. Hey, Steve Ward, how are you doing? Jumping on the Andy Moore Honda hotline. You can do that too. And you can always comment no matter when. I know everyone doesn't get to listen to us live. Whether it's on the Ref in Evansville, 97.7 ESPN, our good friends in Evansville, or wherever. If you listen or watch on YouTube, which is, I know, a big audience for us, make sure you hit subscribe and the like button. That helps us immensely. That helps them suggest us to other people. So that's a great help to us as well. What's going on with you guys? How are you dealing with the heat? Steve Ward, he's down jumping on the Andy Moore Honda hotline, the new name. The Ref, 97.7 ESPN down there in Evansville carries us. We appreciate you guys. Let's see. When's the hydro? I guess that's usually in July, the hydroplane races down there. Madison and Evansville. 20 drive-in theaters in Indiana where you can still go to see. Did you realize that? The drive-in theater is going away, but they've got one in where I grew up, down at Georgetown. You used to sneak into that thing, man. It was awesome. We'd sneak in the back corner from the old Optimist Club, but then they built another screen later and became a double screen place. But back in the day, that was a fun place to go. And did you know that if you live if you're from Southern Indiana, you are an older, you are aware of this. But for those of you that are listening that are not from the Southern Indiana down by closer to Louisville, Clarksville, Jeffersonville, New Albany, on I-65 north of Louisville, about 5 miles, as you were heading north, there used to be at Theater X on the right, an X-rated drive-in theater right next to the interstate. I'm not kidding. And the screen faced the interstate, but they had this plank wood fencing that was about 6 foot wide that was built just so when you were driving, you couldn't see the screen. And man, I remember as a kid going by there every time and trying your best to look through those slats. It didn't work. But an X-rated theater, how about that? They're still there. The theater's gone. But they are still there, man. But 20 theaters. There's one down in Mitchell. I saw one the other day somewhere else. I'm like, oh, wow, cool. Look at that. But yeah, saw that in the Indy Star. Just a pretty cool thing. Thunder Run on Lake Cumberland is this weekend, Ross says. I don't know what Thunder Run is, but it sounds like something fun. Force down in Georgia says they're going to have a heat index of 105 to 112 today. That's a little warmer than I like it. A little warmer than I like it. Did you ever watch Live PD, that show that was on?
Well, Lawrence, did see a few episodes of Live PD, yes. Maybe you weren't addressing me specifically, but I felt
well, you know what? That's fine, and I'm glad you did. But the Lawrence PD were on there. Lawrence, and they're just on the east side of Indianapolis. It's a suburb, basically, bedroom community, if you call it. They were always on that. I didn't know this. That show was canceled because they destroyed film of a person dying. But
wow.
But they're coming back with a different name, but it sounds like the same exact show. So I used to watch it. I'm not gonna lie. Just staying in on a Friday or Saturday night, especially
there was a version of it that came out on Hulu a couple of years ago called Alaska PD, where they specifically obviously targeted things that went on in Alaska, which is
shocker.
Insane. I'm not sure if that's still around, but that's an enjoyable watch as well.
Trey Galloway is going to miss about 3 months, it looks like, with groin surgery. We'll talk more about that later, but let me tell you, as an athlete, there are a lot of injuries that are Jesse was on it. Live PD. It was awesome, man. It was a great way to spend you could just hunker down on a Friday or Saturday night and I'm not in much to mindless entertainment, but that's mindless entertainment. That's just, it's a successful formula. But yeah, Tim says Churchill Downs has canceled racing today due to heat. Horses are colder blooded animals. 90 degrees to them is like about 110 or 115. Their optimum operating temperatures are in the 40s and 50s. 50 degrees is 72 to a horse. Just so you know. Let's see. Tim also saw Live PD in Clarksville a couple years ago. Forrest calls it perfect golf weather. Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you on that one. It's perfect golf weather if you want to lose some weight, especially if you're out there walking. Trey Galloway, Indiana basketball, looks like he's going to miss about 3 months with groin surgery, an injury he dealt with beginning last season. And as an athlete, let me tell you, I used to rope, and when I remember having a groin injury, and it would come in the winter when it was cold and you didn't stretch out well enough, and once it hit, it would come back. It just is It's miserable. It really is miserable. It makes moving so difficult. So I can imagine, I know exactly what he felt like, but you get to the point where you have to have surgery and miss 3 months. That shows you how much it had to be an issue, a serious issue. So he's going to miss 3 months of getting acclimated with the new guys. And that's important because Jalen Hood-Schifino is going to be probably a starter without question. And the other guys. Now, what it is, it's an opportunity. That's an opportunity for CJ Gunn, for Caleb Banks. Well, that's different. For CJ Gunn, probably. Increases his opportunity to step up, step in, and make his presence known. But that's why you have these deep rosters. You have to have a deep roster because it never fails. When has Indiana not had an injury going into the season in the last 6 years? Last year may have been wasn't someone hurt going in? But you generally, injuries are just part of it, especially you're going through 3 months of beating and banging, having to get after it. I mean, the injuries are most likely going to come in practice before the season because that's when you get after it most fervently. Once the season starts, I think most coaches will back off a little bit because you're playing games every 3 to 4 days and you don't need to go at it. You just need to stay sharp. But it's just part of the deal. But that's why now you've got guys that can step up. This is going to be I'm trying to think who else could step in, who else this might be an opportunity for, but Tamar Bates maybe, but I don't think he needs that for more of an opportunity. And Geronimo, of course, a little different position. But Tim said he's not feeling good about Xavier Booker after his interview. Seems more excited about Kentucky and Duke's offers than IU. Hope he's wrong. Well, that stuff is new. Internet Explorer officially retires today. Did not know that.
Just read it after 27 years. Internet Explorer will officially cease to, I don't know if it'll cease to exist, but it'll cease to be supported by Microsoft.
What exactly is it a browser site? I get confused.
So before Chrome was a thing, Safari and all that stuff, Internet Explorer was the more popular application, I guess, to use.
But was it Microsoft's?
Yes, but Microsoft uses what's called Microsoft Edge now as their
right.
Yeah.
So basically why don't they just say it's now Microsoft Edge instead of retiring?
Because they had both. They were operating both at the same time. That's the thing.
Well, that's beyond my computer capacity. I am not a Edge is the new Explorer. We got to take a break. We got lots to talk about. Trey Galloway, more Johnny Davis working out for the Pacers. Phil Mickelson in the PGA is the U.S. Open is upon us. Indiana gets 13 out of 22 perfect scores in the NCAA APR report. Plenty more coming up here on Indiana Sports Beat Radio, brought to you by our good friends from the WOW Network, the WOW Club, BB's Market, especially someplace where you're going to love to go shop. They are your local meat shop, steakhouse, and caterer, no matter where you live, with some of the best custom meats around. BB's Market is the largest variety of in-house made products you'll find around as well. Just visit bbsmarket.com. And that's the whole part of it. Visit bbsmarket.com. Back with more Indiana Sports Beat Radio right after this.
We'll be right back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Whether you're visiting Bloomington, visiting Bloomington or? Hello.
Where's Mr. Bob Kravitz?
Hello, Robert. How are you?
Smoking some shrimp on the bobby.
Now, see, it would be great if you could. Maybe you can text Kyle and see if he can do 9:30.
Oh, that's true. I'll give him it all.
That way, that
I'm sure
allows
he'll
us
be
to go
fine with
long in this segment. You know?
That's true.
Yes. Oh, man. I started to watch that and I fell asleep. We'll talk about that. Hustle.
All right. I sent him a text.
That
And
would
I'll
be
text you if he lets me know. I'm sure he'll be fine with it, but we'll see. Bob is supposed to be. The reason I know I asked this yesterday with Chronic as well, but Bob is supposed to be here today, right? Because I wasn't here last week. He didn't tell you anything.
Not to my knowledge. I would text him again. Maybe he's having a senior moment.
I'll let him know we're ready for him. Is he the oldest regular guest you have?
I don't know how old he is.
Well, you said senior moment, so I just made me think of that. Oh, Kyle says probably not after leave for state golf, so we'll have to do him a 9:10 then.
Fuck. All right. Well, if Bob misses, he can come on later.
Yep. And I'll go ahead and send him a text and say if you can't do 8:50, you can come on at 9:30 if you want.
Yep.
Oh, I'm not missing my time, am I? Okay, we got 40 seconds. Wednesdays are weird days for us with guests sometimes.
Well, I need to get a
Co-host.
co-host because that makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, here we go.
We should be. Ask for Indiana Sports Beat Radio. This segment is brought to you by Southern Stone Restaurant. Now back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Hey, welcome back. It is Wednesday. Can't believe it. I can't believe we're already halfway through the week. It's amazing. I hope you're having a good one. And now it's on the backside after today. Just looking at see what's shaking with the U.S. Open. Golf as it is upon us. A lot of backstories there with the LIV players. And while I get LIV stands for 54, the number of holes in a golf tournament, which is kind of cool. It's just dumb because of all the other acronyms. There's too many acronyms now. LIV didn't it stand for something else too. Too many acronyms, man. What will happen? This is in the Athletic. What will happen if the leader is an LIV participant? I think we might be thinking about this too much, actually. The crowd on the 72nd hole will most likely embrace the winner for what he accomplished this week. It's a backstory, certainly. What if an LIV player is up there? You think that they're going to boo him just because he's doing that. You know, I got to tell you, I don't get political, and I know that the big thing is because of all the alleged abuses of personal justice injustices by Saudi Arabia, but the truth is, there's not a country that doesn't, including the one we live in. It's just stuff we don't know about, man. That doesn't make anything okay. But I don't know how those guys they're not supporting the government. That league's never going to go anywhere in my mind. Personally, I don't think it's ever going to go anywhere. So I think it's very smart of those guys to take the $200 million that they're being given just to join. Bryson DeChambeau has already made more money by signing up with them than he will ever make in his career. Ever. Not even close. $200 million, folks. And that's before they get to an event that I don't think it's going to fly. Why would it? Who cares? I don't care. I might even watch it some, but I'm not going to watch it because it's an LIV event. I'm not going to watch it because it's got 50 of the greatest golfers in the world, because it won't. And I just don't think it's ever going to go anywhere. But if the PGA didn't make the stance they did, a lot of guys would have left probably. Now, is that stance legal? I don't really know. How can you force people not to be able to work? It's a tricky deal. But they're going to end up coming back and being $200 million richer. But the U.S. Open this weekend up in Brookline, up in Massachusetts. So about 9 miles from downtown Boston. They usually set these up tough, man. U.S. Open courses are tough. This is the 4th U.S. Open held at the Country Club, and it's also held a 1999 Ryder Cup that America famously won by 8.5 points out of a possibly 12. Curtis Strange won the last U.S. Open at the Country Club, which was held in 1988. So it should be pretty good. You got Xander Schauffele, Justin Thomas, Scotty Scheffler, Cameron Young. Beautiful course. Holy cow. Just beautiful. But aren't they always? Aren't they always? Let's see. Tomorrow starts it off. Tea time, baby. 9:30 on the USA Network. And then 2 to 5 on NBC. And then they pick it up again on USA. And then it goes, of course, through Sunday. So this is an NBC deal. I like CBS's broadcast better, but who cares? Roy McIlroy won the last event. Brooks Koepka said he's tired of talking about it. I'm trying to focus on the U.S. Open, man. I legitimately don't get it. I'm tired of the conversations. I'm tired of all this stuff. Like I said, y'all are throwing a black cloud on the U.S. Open. I think that sucks. Yeah, I don't get it. Who cares? Why is it? It's not a deal to me. I couldn't give a crap. Oh yeah, Hustle. Someone mentioned that earlier. I think it was Tim. Yeah, Tim mentioned Hustle. Watched Adam Sandler's new movie on Netflix, Hustle. He plays a recruiter for the 76ers. Yes, he does. I fell asleep watching it though. So I haven't seen it basically. I've just seen the beginning. Miles Mikolas last night apparently lost a no-hitter with 1 strike to go. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, man? Oh, wow. Has that ever happened in the annals of baseball? I'm sure it has, but wow. That would really, really, really be upsetting. And the Reds are now just a half game behind the Cubs. Look out. Yes, Robert. No political bias, man. We don't do that. We don't even do sports bias. How about the Reds? Let's see. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I looked, and someone mentioned something, I think it was yesterday. It was someone I saw on Twitter and I responded to about why would you not just bet on the Reds to lose every game the rest of the season to make money? Not a bad point, to be honest with you. And as a matter of fact, I said, you know what? You really want to make some money, do a parlay. The Reds are no longer even the worst team in the National League. That belongs to the Nationals. But you could take the Athletics, the Royals, who are the 2 worst teams in all of baseball, and the Nationals, and just do a 3-team parlay every day, which is I think I'm going to start doing for like a small amount. $20. You could lose 5 days in a row, but when it hits, it's going to pay like 4 times that. So that's a great idea. I'm not a big bettor, but I think I may try that. The Nationals now the worst team in the National League, sitting at 23-41. The Reds comfortably a full game in front of the Nationals at the bottom, as the Nationals are 18.5 games back of the Mets. That's astounding. The Reds 17.5 games back of the Mets, but they're not in that division. The Athletics and the Royals both 25 games back. How about that? And for you White Sox fans, what's going on with them this year, man? They were supposed to be doing something. It ain't happening. The Yankees are still just smoking at 45-16, man. 73, almost 74% winning percentage. 74%. That's unheard of in baseball. I mean, they've won 9 out of their last 10 games. You look over in the Central Division and the Twins, they're 5-5 in their last 10 games. The Astros are 4-6, leading the West in their last 10 games. The Mets, leading the East, are 6-4 in their last 10. The Cardinals are 6-4, and the Dodgers are 4-6. So the other than the Cardinals, who have made a little run, they're 2.5 games in front of the Brewers now. They were trailing. So there you go. There's a little baseball chit chat for you today. Steve Ward says golf is struggling. Do you mean the PGA? The Stanley Cup finals are tonight. Forgot about that. You got hockey for the hockey fans. If Bob was with us, we'd be talking about hockey right now a little bit. Not sure where he is. John, I hope you texted Bob. Make sure he's doing okay. I'm not a big hockey fan. But plenty of people are. That it's more of an East Coast Northern sport. They've tried to spread out. As you see, the Tampa Bay Lightning are in the finals against the Colorado Avalanche. But, of course, who did Colorado used to be? It was a Canadian team. And was Tampa Bay an expansion team? Or were they a team that moved in? That would be interesting to know. Because that would be pretty incredible for an expansion team to do that. Trying to find that out real quick, but I don't know where they came from. I don't remember. I know Columbus. I think Columbus was the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I don't know where this Tampa team might have come from, unless they were expansion. Tampa Bay Lightning joined the NHL in 1992. So, yeah, expansion team. And they thrilled the home fans by routing Chicago 7-3 in their first game in franchise history. So there's that. That's amazing. There's not many expansion teams that can do that, but there you go. But yeah, I'm not big into hockey, but I know everybody has their likes. Jacob's a big Lightning fan, obviously. So the Lightning and the Avalanche, that's got to really piss off the Canadians. I mean, seriously, think about that. It's basically their sport. And they have no team in the finals. And one of the teams that is in the finals is a former Canadian team. We'll find out. Oh, they were the Quebec Nordiques. Oh, man. See, that's a famous hockey name. From 1972 to 1995, the Quebec Nordiques. They were one of the World Hockey Association's original teams. So then they became the Colorado Avalanche in 1995. There you go for all you NHL fans. We've got lots more coming up here on Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Kyle Neddenriep. Still waiting for Bob Kravitz. And Mel Tucker. What in the world? He is just really turning Michigan State around. We'll talk about that as well. Maybe there's a reason he was being paid $9.5 million. More Indiana Sports Beat Radio brought to you by our good friends from the Wow Club and the Wow Network. Make sure you go sign up. It's totally free. It's your Apple App Store or Google Play Store. Eat, drink, and earn. Support those who support you. They're a proud supporter of Indiana athletics and the Jordan Hulls golf outing that's coming up. Don't forget. Please sign up for that. If you haven't, you can. Now, how did I do that? I really screwed. There we go. June 23rd is when that outing is coming up. John, if you can throw that up real quick before we break. You can sign up. The link is on there. You can also go for all links. You can go to thehoosier.com, the free site. Just go to the top of the message boards. You'll see all the links and the information, but everything happens on June 23rd, but you can go to the eventbrite.com /e/neverlosehoop. It's too much to read for you to sign up for it, but go sign up. And if not, just donate, be a whole sponsor. $100 or more, and you're a whole sponsor. You get a sign with your name on the whole. We get Jordan and the group to take a picture around it, post it, send it to you. It's all for Never Lose Hoop, kids with cancer. And it's going to be a tremendous outing. But if you want to play, it's only $125 a man too. And it gives you the opportunity, incredible opportunity, to be around all of these guys afterwards for dinner and all that. So make sure you please sign up or make a donation to Never Lose Hoop. Back with Kyle Neddenriep of the Indy Star right after this.
We'll be right back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
The sun is out. The bird.
Morning, Kyle.
Morning. You hear me?
Good morning. Yes, sir.
Yes,
How are you,
sir.
brother?
Good.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. About to head back out to golf in the Amazon jungle that awaits me.
Wow. You have to go watch golf?
State golf's yesterday and today.
Oh my God.
Man, what a horrible week to have it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's right up there with the hottest events I've ever covered, I think.
Is this the last high school sport to finish up?
Baseball.
No, baseball's this weekend.
We're still going? Okay.
Yeah. And then we'll be done. I'm already starting rolling some football stuff out. So
Yeah, I saw your quarterbacks list.
yeah, quarterbacks this week. I did like top games to watch for week 1 last week. So just trying to get ahead of it a little bit.
Jim, make sure we get him out by as close to 9:30 as we can. What time is tee off is what you call it?
Well, the first groups have already they start about 8, but I'll probably get out there. I'm going to leave pretty much right after I talk to you guys. And
The good thing about golf is you can just saunter in and saunter around because it does not happen quickly.
no, and some of the top guys, well, some of them are already teed off, but a lot of them don't tee off until about 10, I'd say like 10:30 roughly. So, because they do it by teams too. So if you're a part of a team and you're on a top team, you tee off later. So.
Did you go to the All-Star game?
Yeah. Yeah, we can talk about that. I wrote a piece about how, just about the All-Stars and the kind of how dead it is in Kentucky, but that it still means something to the players.
All right, here we go.
For financing deals, Andy Moore Honda, Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer. Get more to your door with AndyMooreHonda.com.
Come see us at the all-new Andy Moore Honda, now in Bloomington.
This segment is brought to you by RE/MAX Advanced Realty, Indy Home Pros team by Cheryl Sizemore. Now back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio on this Wednesday, Hump Day, brought to you by our good friends from RE/MAX Realty. If you're in the market for a home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore and her 2 decades of experience. It could be the difference between you getting the home you want or not. Reach out to her, Cheryl at IndyHomePros.com. Or if you're in the southern Indiana area, down in the Jeffersonville, New Albany area, Scottsburg, all that, Matt Lincoln from Barbara Pop Realty Services can help you out. Just reach out to him, Matt at barbarapop.com. Joined now by our good friend Kyle Neddenriep from the Indy Star, who is still busy. Man, you are going at it. There are high school sports. Baseball is still wrapping up. Golf, understand you have to head out to today yet. And, man, what a day to have to play golf, to have to do anything outside, really.
Yeah, it was definitely a storyline yesterday because it's a great course. I mean, at Prairie View, it's about as good of an event as you're going to find in high school golf anywhere in the country, I would say. But yeah, man, it was like I walked probably I don't know, maybe total of probably 8 or 9 holes with different players, and I was just I know I was a mess. I know they were too. Talking to some of them after their rounds, they were really spent, especially the last group that got off at about 4:30 in the afternoon. It was about, it was at least 98, 99. And the people were saying the feels like temperature was like 109. So it was just different. Yeah. It's just, how the heat gets when it's so humid. And I used to live in Southwest Missouri, which I always is about, it's more humid than it is here on the whole, but it definitely felt like that. It felt like I was back in the hills of Southwest Missouri covering something, because that's what it felt like yesterday.
Well, I grew up in southern Indiana, and like I said, and we're down there close to the Ohio River, that Ohio River Valley, and golly, I remember the first time I was experienced non-humidity. I was shocked at the temperature, but I had a sports anchor job out in Washington State.
Yeah.
And I remember playing golf, but on the east side. There you go. I was on the Mount Rainier. Exactly. I was on the opposite side. There's a mountain range that runs through the middle of the state of Washington. And I remember playing, it's dry as a bone on the other side, basically. But I remember having like a 12-foot putt and hitting the ball and it going like 60 feet.
Yeah.
Because it's like putting on a glass countertop when there is just no humidity, and it was nuts. I'm like, holy smokes. So, yeah, but having this heat, having this humidity, having to go out and do that. And I know it's golf. In golf, in high school golf, I think they have to walk, they have to carry their own bags as well.
Yeah, they do. It's they kind of roll them. They roll their bags on a kind of a cart thing, but yeah,
push cart.
Yeah, they have to pull them around. But
well, you know what? I was at the Big Ten championship, and they had the option to use push-pull carts or carry, and I'm going to say 95% of the guys carried their bags, and I'm like, this was at the Pete Dye course, and I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you guys? If I had the option to use a pull cart here, you out of your mind if you think I'm not using that.
Yeah, I don't know what the point of that would be. Why you'd kind of expend extra energy that way, especially a day like yesterday. And again, Connor McNeely of Guerin Catholic shot a 1 under par, which is great any time on that course for a high school player. But in that condition, and now he got done. I want to say he got done with his round at about 2:30, so he was about 2 hours ahead of the last groups to come in. And as those scores started, I was kind of tracking those last groups who were some of the better players, and their scores got progressively worse. Westfield was leading a lot of the day, and then by the end of the round, Guerin had gone ahead of them by 4 strokes. And Guerin's a great team. I mean, they've got a good chance to win state today, and they battled with Westfield all year. But honestly, I mean, you're getting done 2 hours later. That definitely had some sort of effect on the scores, that you'd have to think. So, I mean, it was brutal. I mean, absolutely brutal. And it will be again today. I think it's going to be kind of a carbon copy of yesterday. But I don't know what else you can do. I mean, you got to play today and get the round in. And, I know Guerin's coach, I talked to him and he said, I brought 60 bottles of water, and he was kind of driving around making sure each kid had a bottle of water at the tee box on each hole. And they were all gone by the end of the round. So they did a good job, I thought. I'm sure all teams were sort of that way, but it's not much you can do. And it's still great golf. And there's so many great players in the state of Indiana. It's a great event, but that became a huge storyline just because we're all kind of suffering through it out there.
Absolutely. Let's see. You've got what else is wrapping up today? We already talked about.
Baseball this weekend.
Baseball this weekend. Yeah, baseball this weekend.
We wrapped up the Indian All-Stars basketball this past weekend, so that's always sort of a highlight of June. And again, Indiana sweeps on the boys' side and splits on the girls' side, which has kind of been the theme these last several years. The girls haven't swept Kentucky. I think 2016 was the last time, and that was 3 years in a row they did it. And then it's been kind of a split. I think Kentucky actually had the better team this year, but Indiana didn't have Ayanna Patterson from Homestead, Miss Basketball, she actually got hurt the last practice at UConn. She was at UConn, had checked in. She was there for about a week and a half, and Gino Riem had given her the green light to come back and play. But then she fell on somebody at practice on Wednesday, just as she was about to leave to come back. So she was held out, but she was there. I thought it was cool. She came back and she made it a big deal to be part of it, or she didn't make it a big deal, but I thought it was a big deal that she came back to be part of it. So, that was cool that she was still there. Braden Smith couldn't play either because of coming off his knee injury or not his foot injury. I'm sorry. Who's going to Purdue, but he was there, had a blast. I think he was a big part of the sort of the bench part of it and being a cheerleader as they both were for their teams. But Indiana gets the sweep on the boys. And again, and I always come away looking at, how the team played as a whole. I think it was a really good group that really, I think, shared the ball well. They were willing teammates, and I think it was a cool experience for the guys that I talked to and the girls I talked to be part of the All-Star process.
CJ Gunn, Indiana commit and recruit coming in now. Well, he's in Bloomington now. But, man, did he step up and have a great and consistent weekend with 20 points on Friday night, 21 points on Saturday night to lead everybody, and to pace the All-Stars. Great way for him to go out. MVP. I'm like, man, that's cool. He didn't win the Mr. Basketball, but to say you were the MVP of the All-Star game, that's still, man, that's a pretty cool thing that you get to keep the rest of your life. It's a big deal. I mean, you look at the names on that list. You look at the names that have played in that game. I keep telling people, I'm like, dude, go back. You've got the greatest of the great that have been in this game, whether it's Robertson or Bird, whomever. There are so many. George McGinnis. I mean, good Lord, there's some great basketball names. So it's an honor in Indiana, and I know we've talked about with Indiana dominating on the boys' side. They've lost 3 games in the last 20 years.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I can't remember exactly the years, but yeah, it's been, I think, 20, something like 29 out of 32 or 28 out of 31, something in that range. But yeah,
do you know the record now? It's like 104-40 or something.
I had that. It's 10. Yeah, I think 102 to 44. I want to say, or 104 to 44, something in that range. I could probably find it for you, but yeah,
I'm just curious.
I think since 96, really, it's been like 44 out of 52. So it's been just a total whitewash since 96. So
why? What's changed in that period? Do you think? All right. So I'm thinking back 1996, 97, 98, 99. The guys that run Indiana's teams, Indiana was kind of recruiting. That's when they had for Charlie Miller and a lot of out-of-state guys on the Indiana roster at that time. Kirk Haston was on that team. Dane Fife from Michigan. So maybe, I don't know, but obviously something started happening in the state of Indiana or in the state of Kentucky that just changed.
I think Indiana's always had, you go back year by year, and I'm not sure this year's team's any lesser than, 96 or whatever. I mean, you could argue it, I guess, but, on the Indiana side, I'm saying, but I think more of the changes have probably happened on the Kentucky side where they, their all-star process is different than Indiana, where you have to, I think this year they had to be at 3 different tryout sessions. And I'm kind of, I don't know exactly, but I know it's kind of a tryout process that they have down there. And we have the, the Hoosier Basketball Magazine does the, the senior top 60 workout at Marion after the season's over. So there is that, but that's not a tryout, put that in quotations. It's sort of just and Javen Buchanan from Lafayette Jeff, I think, and there's been guys over the years that have really played well in that top 60, especially guys from out of the area, out of central Indiana, who have performed really well and kind of earned their spot on the team where they have maybe been an outsider. But our process here is not, we name the best, not we, the Mike Broughton or whoever the all-star director is, they name the best players. And then, as it is now, they kind of make sure that those players can be there to be part of the game. And you're not always going to get them anymore, not with the way the colleges kind of bring people in earlier and earlier now. But Kentucky, they just, for whatever reason, they just seem to have trouble getting their top players there. And even if they did, I think Indiana would probably have the better team anyway. But it's just kind of been a mess, and I know there's good people working hard to try to keep the series alive down there, but it just hasn't been, and you go to Owensboro, like I have the last 2 years for the game, and it's really kind of like, it's a cool arena. It's older, but the crowd there, there's just nothing, that's just dead. And I don't know, they need to bring in some
well, you're in Owensboro, which is a small city to begin with, a small town on the river. It's away from everything. You have a little bit of Indiana support, but there's no city. There's no population, Indiana population across the river there hardly. They've got to get it back to Louisville. It's just got to get back to Louisville.
I wrote that the other day too. I mean, to me, the best case scenario, you play it at Bellarmine or whatever gym in Louisville that would be. You're not going to play it at the Yum Center, but play it at. But if you can play it at Bellarmine, play it at Bellarmine. Or if you can't, then there's got to be somewhere else.
Well, right now there's a rule that prohibits that because it's a Division I. They're now a Division I team. So you've got that's the problem for Bellarmine, and it is a great. Because it only seats about 2,500, which that's about as good as you're going to get probably in Kentucky. And you've got some overflow from Indiana. And I'm trying to think of other places that wouldn't be expensive. They've got like Broadbent Arena out there at the fairgrounds, but that's going to cost too much money. They'll lose money. And I don't think they have a high school big enough.
Well, you're not. I wouldn't even worry about if you can sell out with that, whatever. Yeah, that'd be awesome. But, I've been to Transylvania. I've been to, Owensboro, Bellarmine. I mean, to me, having it in Louisville, you get the best chance of a walk-up crowd. You're going to get more Indiana fans to come in. It's just a bigger city. It's just – and I like Owensboro. My sons played baseball down there. It's a cool they got some neat stuff on the river there, but it's just not – no one knows about it or no one cares down there to come as a walk-up crowd. So, I don't know. There's got to be something I would say that's better than what you're doing now. And just, try to bring in some youth teams or some, we've done that here on the Indiana side where you bring in some middle school teams playing a shootout and then they come over and they're part of it. And Charlie Hall, I know, used to do that. Mike Broughton, they're still doing that, as much as they can. So, it's just, and again, it's not ever going to be 1972 or 82 or whatever anymore. But, I think there can be, and again, this is me talking about it and writing about it, not actually doing it, but it's got to be, you got to find a way to just get more people through the door and get excited about being at the game. And then also, keeping your best players as much as possible to be able to play in it too. But I don't know. The answer to me is not play Michigan or Illinois or whatever. If you're going to, if this series dissolves, I think you just play the juniors and do it that way, and maybe if you do a Friday, Saturday, or a whatever, maybe a one game or whatever. But again, that's not ideal either because you're not playing a rival state. But it would still be something to have the game and make it. And I think people like seeing the juniors. I think people like who's next. Who's the next big thing or whatever. So. I think that may be the way to go if you ever decide, or it's not feasible to do this anymore with Kentucky.
Yeah, you just have to wonder how long will Kentucky keep going if they continue to lose? I mean, that number 44 out of 52 is staggering.
Yeah.
I mean, they've lost 8 games out of the last 52. How many years is that?
That would be like 26 years. What would it be? 20. Yeah, my math is bad. 26 years. That's 2. So yeah, 96 basically. That's when it started. And it was, I think in Indiana's favor even before that, so.
Oh yeah.
But again, Indiana doesn't have a problem. They're fine beating Kentucky's butt every year. I mean, that's not.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not their problem, and they're happy to do it. So,
and I think it's still, like you said, for the guys that are on the Indiana All-Star team, it matters. Winning Indiana Mr. Basketball, dude, that's a Heisman Trophy type trophy. I don't care who you are, man. If you were Mr. Basketball in Indiana, dude, that's something you can talk about when you're 80. Yeah.
I mean, and if you say it doesn't matter, then that's on you. I think it's a lot of people who kind of disparage the game or the experience probably haven't followed it or gone to it in a long time, or, so I know, I know I've covered all 15 of them the last 15 years. So I understand the issues that the games have, but invariably every year I talk to people after Saturday's game and ask them about the week. And it's like, and I don't think they're BSing me. They seem to have a great experience. So, I think it still does matter to those who make it. Those who don't, and their parents are often mad about calling it political and whatever, and whatever gripe you have about it. But, the fact is, I think the people who go through it, the large majority enjoy the process.
What's the dog's name? I got to add this to the list.
His name is Thor.
Thor?
Yeah.
I'm thinking. I was going to think Ty Cobb or something. Thor. Yeah. Where does Thor come from? I've got to have to get a list of all my guests and their dog names, because it's pretty long. Chris Denari, Dustin Schutte, Dustin DePirick,
Kravitz,
Bob Kravitz,
and
Rick Bozich. Everybody has a dog, and I'm gonna have to really. All right, I'm gonna have to start a daggone dog list.
Yeah, my son named him from Thor, whatever the movie, or I never watched those Marvel things or whatever they are, but yeah, he named him. We got him a couple of years ago. It's funny. I had another dog probably 20 years older than, and he passed away obviously a few years ago, but he was the same. Every time I would talk, like, he'll start barking. Like, he'll be laying on the couch for hours, but if I start talking, he'll start barking.
He thinks you're talking to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I love this comment that Steve Prather made, and I remember this. I wasn't around for it, but he played his first game against Kentucky in the All-Star game, and one of the Kentucky players said that he scored 23 points, and he wasn't all that impressed by him. And then so he took that to heart and came back. I forget, did he come back with 52? Is that right? Is that what it was?
I think it's 53 and 31 is what he had.
53 and 31. 53 points and 31 rebounds, people.
I've talked to George about
that's George
that.
McGinnis.
I talked to him a few years ago about that game, and I should probably repost that story again. But he and I talked to the guy who, I can't remember the guy's name who talked to him, but I called him, and I believe he was living in Texas. I don't know if he still does, but
I thought he's not here anymore.
I don't think so. I can't remember for sure, but I talked to both of them about this story, and the guy from Kentucky, he said, yeah, I said what I said, but I shouldn't have said it. And then, George, his dad actually passed away, shortly after that game. I think it might've been the same year. And he remembered the ride home on the way from Kentucky, and his dad, he wasn't able to make it to a lot of his games, but, talking about how proud of him he was. And he said it was one of the last times, he remembers, visiting with him. And so that's an experience that George, I know, really holds close to his heart. And, that's a famous, probably the most famous individual performance in the history of the All-Star game. So that's a neat story. I think it's one that people remember, and it was fun to relive it with those guys. That's been several years ago, but yeah, that's a definitely one of the highlights all time in the Indian All-Star game. That would have been 1969.
And it was. We got to get Kyle out of here. We could keep going on that stuff all day, and we could talk about his latest list out with the quarterbacks, top 12 quarterbacks to keep an eye on. People like Christian Abney from Zionsville and more. Make sure you read that and be a subscriber. I am. Keep local papers alive. I love a newspaper, man. Kyle, I cannot thank you enough. Have fun out in golf. Stay chilled, man. Take your cold, one of them cold towels wrapped around.
I need a towel. I didn't have a towel yesterday. I'm going to get one today.
Gotta have a cold towel.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you, brother. Kyle Neddenriep from Indy Star joining us here on India Sports Beat Radio. Brought to you by our good friends from Andy Moore, Honda, and Remax Realty. If you're in the market for a home in Indianapolis area, reach out to Cheryl at IndyHomePros.com. Or if you're looking for a home in the southern Indiana area, New Albany, Floyd County, Harrison, Clark, Scott, all down there. Barbara Pop Realty Services. Matt Lincoln. Reach out to him. Matt at barbarapop.com. We're back with more Indiana Sports Beat Radio right after this.
We'll be right back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Andy Moore Honda.
Anything from Sharon?
Yeah, he can't make it today.
Okay. Haven't heard from Bob either.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Who knows? Could be something up. But I did tell Bob, I said, if you do see this and you want to come on at any of the opening segments we have left, or open segments, he is welcome. So we may see him, we may not.
Who?
Bob
Kravitz? Yeah.
Yep. So we'll see.
Oh, yeah. I've just been too busy to even read. Oh, damn it. Who's that?
Who would be a good
Bob Kravitz. Oh, Bob Kravitz is coming on.
Oh, he is? When? Right now?
Whatever. Yeah.
Did he just respond to you and not me?
Yeah. He set it. He set his alarm, but didn't turn up the volume. Yeah, I never touched my volume.
So is he coming on right now?
Yeah.
Cool.
I told him whenever. Just jump on.
Well, if he excuse me. Well, if he comes on now, you can take him to 10 o'clock since it's already 9:40. And then your next segment, you can go to 10:20, and then we'll have a shorter final segment. That's what we'll do.
That's what we'll do. That's what we'll do for you.
And if he doesn't show up here, then break around 9:50, and
he'll
keep
show
on track
up
like normal.
He'll show up. Johnny Davis. Talk about him. Working out for the Pacers yesterday.
I'm sure Indiana fans will love if the Pacers take Johnny Davis.
I was thinking that would be hilarious. You know what? They're not taking him.
Like, why would you? I mean, obviously, I guess you take the best player you can get, but why take somebody the fans aren't going to like?
They're not going to take him with their first pick. I can tell you that. Well, look at Robert.
Kravitz.
Good morning. How are you, gentlemen?
Hello, Robert. I'm doing just top of the day to you.
Top of the day. I set my alarm and forgot to turn the volume up. So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
We'll take it.
I apologize.
I usually have all kinds of issues. Don't worry.
Check out the Avalanche hat today, game 1.
But
Remax Advanced Realty. Let Cheryl Sizemore get you in the home you want today. Cheryl at IndyHomePros.com.
This segment is brought to you by K-Bello. Now back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Welcome back. Indiana Sports Beat Radio coming to you here on this Wednesday. Bob Kravitz joins us now from The Athletic. Robert, how are you?
I'm tremendous. I apologize for being a few moments late, like an hour.
Never late, brother. Always fashionably on time.
Yeah.
And glad to have it.
Got the Avalanche being represented today.
Absolutely. We were talking a little bit about the NHL finals earlier, and I was, because it's Tampa Bay and Colorado. And I'm like, man, you think times haven't changed? Not a Canadian team in the finals, although Colorado is really the Quebec Nordiques.
Yeah, they are.
Which it sure sounds a lot better to say the Nordiques.
Nordique.
Which Avalanche is cool. I don't have a problem with that name, but I miss the Quebec Nordiques. I'm sure they miss that as well. But anyway, you've got two American teams in the NHL finals. Tampa Bay, someone earlier said they're going for their third straight.
Yes, they're going for their third straight Stanley Cup.
Wow.
Look, they've got the best goaltender. They've got some of the best forwards. They got the best defenseman in Victor Hedman. They are a dynasty. We'll see. We'll see if Colorado can upend them. I think Colorado's got the better, deeper team. The only issue is I think Tampa's got better goaltending.
And Tampa's was an expansion team in '95, right?
Correct.
Wow. There is, in my memory, there has been no other team that was an expansion team that in this time especially became, as you said, a dynasty. I mean, you win 3 in a row in anything, that's a dynasty. And for a team like this to do it, that's unheard of.
Well, I mean, my New York Islanders started in 1972, and by 1980 they were winning 4 cups in a row. So,
well, that's much better.
Yeah. So, I mean, look at the Vegas Golden Knights. They were able to get to the Stanley Cup Finals their first year of expansion. So,
does that say that hockey is more? There's more parity, or it's easier to do things fast in hockey?
I think the parity. I think goaltending is a great equalizer, and without getting into specifics, the Golden Knights did some things with the expansion draft that have since been outlawed. They made a bunch of deals with teams so that they wouldn't take guys who were available in the expansion draft. And they ended up with some stud players. So what they did is now outlawed, but they gamed the system the first time around and end up in the Stanley Cup Finals, which I think was kind of a bad look for the NHL, to be honest with you.
I agree. What's new with Bob, with Mr. Bob?
Well, I've got a story out. I should probably tweet it out about the spiritual relationship between DeForest Buckner and Frank Reich. In fact, I will tweet it out as soon as we're done. And I went the last 2 days to the Pacers. They had AJ Griffin and Johnny Davis in. I don't think they're going to draft either one of them, but they're definitely options at number 6. So I'm going to do something today for tomorrow, I suspect, just on the different options they have at number 6, assuming they stay at number 6.
Yeah, DeForest Buckner, I was reading that story earlier, a very cool story. So Frank Reich served as a pastor at Ballantyne Presbyterian Church outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. My family lives down there for several years. I didn't know that after he retired from playing in the NFL. So Frank Reich, wow, was a pastor. I did not know that.
Yes, he studied religion and all that sort of thing, and got his master's or doctor. I don't remember which it is, but yeah, he went to DeForest Buckner's baptism. DeForest mentioned it last year, and I thought, damn, that'd be a pretty cool story once we get outside the season. So I talked to DeForest and I talked to Frank, and I thought it came out pretty good.
Absolutely. And make sure you read that in The Athletic, be a subscriber. I am. You can always grab great stuff like that and much more. I know you didn't attend the All-Star game over the weekend.
Did not.
But I was thinking about some things. We were just talking about some things a minute ago. Someone brought up, we were talking about the unbelievable dominance that Indiana has in this series. And I did not know this, but they have won 44 out of the last 52 games.
Yeah, I think Kentucky should be relegated. Just like they do in soccer.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Well, we take it. I mean, I went a couple of years ago and I was talking to the organizers, and look, we take it seriously. Kentucky, not so much. Kentucky, it's not that big of a deal to be on the Kentucky All-Star team. Look, I think there's plenty of talent down there to be competitive, but they just don't take it as seriously. It's not as big of a deal as it is here in Indiana.
Speaking of Indiana, Trey Galloway, I know you're not up on everything, and none of us know a lot, but it came out that Trey Galloway, Indiana will be without him probably for the next 3 months, as he has to have groin surgery. And if I told you, if you're an athlete and you've had a groin issue, you know, man, it's debilitating. But to have surgery, that tells me, man, that was a tough deal, because I had one that I had to deal with for a couple of years, and it didn't require surgery. But wow, losing him for 3 months during the summer. He's been here, so it doesn't hurt him as bad, but you've got all these new guys coming in. This is kind of a different team. So it's an opportunity for somebody else to step up, but it's also a possibility for him to get behind.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm surprised they didn't do this earlier. I guess that would be the obvious question. Why did they wait so long? Granted, he's not going to miss a ton of time, hopefully, but I question the timing of this. But I really like Trey's game. I think he's got a chance to be a really, really terrific glue guy for a very good Indiana team. But yeah, you're right. It gives opportunities to some of these other younger players to step up and do something.
Yeah, and looking forward to seeing how that's going to be. But that'll be a while, because everything will be quiet and kept under roof, as the football program has been kept under wraps. So that's going to be another thing that is we're going to know nothing. This Basilak, he could be the starter. He'll be completely new if that's the case. So all kinds of new stuff with the Colts, new quarterback that everyone seems to be loving, by the way, from everything I'm seeing and hearing.
Well, everybody loved Carson Wentz when he came in. Okay, I hate to be that guy, but I am.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
They all said, "Oh, he throws a great ball. He's really accurate. He's great with the players, yada, yada, yada." Shut up. We heard all the same thing I'm sure Matt Ryan is everything they say he's going to be, but I'm just saying we heard the same thing with Carson Wentz.
The Pacers worked out Johnny Davis yesterday. Man, that would be kind of funny. I mean, I don't, that's not something I expect. I don't think he's that caliber of player, but oh my gosh, can you imagine Johnny Davis of Wisconsin being playing in Indianapolis? There's a lot of people in Indiana that just are not fans of his. Tyra Buss is the only one, maybe.
Not after what he did at Purdue, man. That was one of the great solo performances I've ever seen in the college game. The way he lit up Purdue, a really great defensive, well, not a great defensive team this year, but historically. AJ Griffin was the day before. I was not impressed personality wise, if that makes any sense. We don't get to see the actual workout, or if we do, we see the last 5 minutes. So I have no sense of how well these guys played. There's nobody accessible to us except for the players. Although Matherin did not talk to the media after he worked out. But it's going to come down to Matherin, Keegan Murray, hopefully, if he makes it that far. AJ Griffin, Johnny Davis. Those are the kinds of guys you're looking at if you stay at number 6. And there's some question as to whether they're going to stay at number 6.
Yeah, and thanks, Jessica. I was thinking of Brad Davidson instead of Johnny Davis, who was an incredible player. Brad Davidson is the one I was thinking about. For some reason, I had him in my head. The one that drove Indiana fans nuts that's dating Tyra Buss.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He drives everybody nuts.
Yep, got him confused there. What's coming up next for you? What are you doing? What's coming up? What are you going to be working on? What are you going to be playing any golf?
Well, if you have a second, I just wanted to mention that our umpteenth annual ALS charity event, if you're interested, go on to the ALS Association Indiana website. There's a link there. We are going August 8th at the Highland Country Club, and we hope people will be interested in playing or sponsoring or helping or what have you, but it's for a wonderful cause, and we hope you can join us.
John, if you can beat me to that, do that, but absolutely, we'll get that information up to you. A lot of golf outings coming up. It's that time of year.
Yeah, I got one Thursday. Our friend Brian Hammonds has one up in Anderson Country Club, so I'm going to play in that tomorrow, and I'm sure I'll be brilliant.
Well, of course. Didn't you recently shoot like an 82 or something?
83, the 37 on the back, but listen, we don't have to be specific about it.
Well, who's counting?
Who's counting? Yeah.
Was that at your home course?
Yeah, it was a Prairie View. I played out of my brain.
So I'm on the website, ALS website. Where would it be on there?
It says Bob Kravitz golf outing down lower, and there's a link through Golf Genius, I believe, and I think that's the way that you can get on.
Well, I'll have to find that, and we'll get that thing. Yeah. We'll get that put up. But looking forward to that. There it is. Got you down here at the bottom.
Yeah.
You need to put rings up there. Also, Golf Genius. There we go. So, I'll throw that up here in a second. Copy that.
All right. Appreciate it.
Of course. Hey, that's what we're here for, man. Bob Kravitz golf outing to defeat ALS 2022. Oh, you know what? I've got a screenshot of something in my phone, and I keep saying, "What is this?" And it's that.
Okay.
I copied it for that very, very reason. I got the Colts and the Pacers helping out. So, how many people usually get in this thing?
Between 20 and 30. Between 20 and 30 teams, I should say. That's usually 100 and something.
That's a lot of people, man. Is it just an 18-hole course?
Yes, it is. Yeah, Highland is very nice.
What do you have, like a double shotgun start?
It depends on how many teams play, but yeah, if we're over 18, we do double shotgun, double on some. Like most of these things, it can be a little slow at times, but that's what the cocktails and food are for, and good people.
Now, and of course, I'm assuming you play. Do you set up a nice ringer team?
No, I don't. I've used in the past. I've bought a team and just had neighbors play, but I think this year I'll just tell the organizers, put me with whatever team you want to put me with. That's what we're going to do. No ringers here.
So I thought you're the organizer.
Well, my job is to put my name on it and to get the celebrity. As far as the X's and O's of organizing, we've got professional organizers at the ALS Association putting this together. It's beyond my ability level.
I hear that, man. How long have y'all been doing this? This has been going on for a minute.
Yeah, I think I said 8 because I wasn't sure. I think this is maybe our 8th. And it's done really well. We usually raise a significant amount of money for ALS, for all kinds of things, helping people with their lifestyle, helping people, helping with research. So it's done very, very well over the years. Very proud of what we've all accomplished.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the link there and go to it. But I think if you all you have to do is do what I did and Google Indiana ALS Association and coming up and scroll down and you'll see Bob Kravitz, ALS Golf. Looking forward to that. Speaking of that, Jordan Hall's Never Lose Hoop golf outing coming up June 23rd. If you'd like to play in that, it's only $125 a person. Great opportunity to be around a bunch of IU folks, coaches, former players. It's at Jordan Hall's, the newest staff member for IU. As a matter of fact, just got back in country yesterday, I think, or the day before, Bob. But
Okay.
This will be here at the golf club at Eagle Point. So that'll be a fun day. Looking forward to that. And if you can't play and you just want to donate, there's a donate link as well. We'll get that up. But if you donate $100 or more, you become a whole sponsor, and we'll get your sign out there and a picture with Jordan and the gang and send it to you and post it and all that. Have you played any golf lately?
Oh, gosh, yes. Every day that I'm not working, I'm playing golf.
What about this hot weather?
I played last night. We played 15 holes before we melted, but it kept my score down.
That always helps.
Yeah.
That always helps. Michigan State football. Mel Tucker. He is turning them into a behemoth. When that change happened, Mark D'Antonio had a great run, and then all of a sudden it went south. I think that's partly him. But then Mel Tucker comes in. They pay him this crazy salary, and I'm like, what the hell are they doing? But yet he turns them around like that, and they're on an upward trajectory still. So his salary is starting to make a little more sense. I don't know who and how at Michigan State they had the foresight to do that, but they made the right hire.
Apparently. I have not, I'll be honest with you, Jim, I have not been following what's going on.
I haven't followed a lot either, but just bits and pieces, just enough to know they're like, damn, they seem like they got it going.
Yeah, they do, no doubt.
And then, of course, the divisions, the Big Ten, hopefully will be dissolving divisions.
Hopefully.
That won't happen until next season. But I wonder what that's going to look like and how that's going to impact bowl teams making bowls. I really believe that the Big Ten just needs to go back to 8 games. I don't get the point of a 9th game when everyone else is not doing it, and it makes it much more difficult on teams like Maryland, Indiana, et cetera, to make a bowl game. Right. If you have 4 non-con games and you only have to win 2 conference games, man, that makes it so much easier to get into a bowl game. That's what the SEC has. The ACC has, I think they're hurting themselves, and I think they're hurting themselves towards the championship. They're just, it's not. I don't understand the point to it.
I don't either. I don't either, unless it's a money grab, which it usually is.
But I don't see it. Yeah, I mean, you would normally have a better audience for even a Minnesota than say Idaho State,
right?
But not that much. Not in Indiana. Indiana's attendance is just not affected that much, other than who might come in, what team might be,
or whatever.
Yeah, right. So, I don't get it, and I wish they would change that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you 100%, man. 100%.
What else is new? What you got going this weekend?
Let's see. What do I have going this weekend? Well, just preparing for the draft. The draft is next Thursday. I'm talking. We're going to be talking to a guy who wrote the book on the IndyCar split and any parallels that may have to what's going on in the golf world with the Live series. So I got a couple things to do. It's a slow time in Indy, but we'll figure out things to do.
We certainly will. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this temperature dropping a little bit. Saturday, Bob. Saturday is the day. It's going to drop from 90, like 91 on Friday to 82.
Oh, that'll seem like the nicest, sweetest thing in the world.
Oh, wake up to that little crisp birds chirping. If you were to get up at like 6:30 or 7, which I won't, but you can see that little bit of layer of, well, not now, but you used to be able to see that little layer of
Dew.
mist or whatever on the dew. Yeah, dew on the greens. The U.S. Open. Oh man, we didn't talk about the U.S. Open this weekend.
That's right. We've been talking so much about the Live series.
Well, and the Live players are playing in it.
Yeah, they're going to get the hell boot out of them.
Do you think that's going to be the case?
No question about it. It's going to get ugly.
All of them. I expect Phil Mickelson because he's kind of drawing, but even Dustin Johnson, you think?
Oh, absolutely. Every last one of them. I mean, they're all going to be looked at as traitors. The fans are going to get nasty. There's going to be a lot of stuff said. And it's going to be the story of the U.S. Open, whether they like it or not. It's going to be the story.
I know what the premise is about human rights and all of that, and I'm not downplaying that. My only contention is I think it's a little hypocritical because there's not a country in the world that doesn't do things that if,
I agree. I agree.
A lot of people know about.
Jim, we can't protect our own babies when they go to schools. You know, I mean, look, you know, I understand the idea of American exceptionalism. I believe we are, you know, the greatest, if not one of the greatest countries on the face of this earth. But we do a lot of stuff that's pretty, I mean, we just try to overthrow our own damn government. We can't protect our little kids in schools. Insurance, I mean, you know, Saudi Arabia, say what you will, but everybody gets health insurance. You know, in our country, that's not the case. So, you know, let's get down off our high horse. You know, they've done some despicable things, but we do some despicable things too.
Do you know who the leading arms dealer or seller to Saudi Arabia is?
That would be the U.S.
That would be the United States.
Right.
So it just goes on. And I'm not political. I don't get political, but I just, when it comes to common sense BS, I'm like, you know what? That's BS. Right. I don't have to like the guys that are doing it. I don't have to be a fan of Bryson DeChambeau, but I'll tell you this. I think he's a smart SOB because he just racked up $200 million, which is probably 10 times more than he will ever make on tour in his entire career. And he's already got it and it's banked. Yep. I think that I would do it. I probably would have done it too. I don't know how the PGA actually keeps them out, to be honest with you.
Well, the only way they can do it is to not allow them to play in the majors, because I think the majors is where you make your legacy, and I think that for the younger players, that's probably still something they want to do.
For Phil Mickelson, he doesn't care. He's already done it.
He's already done it. I'm saying the younger players, the Kevin Nas, people like that. So I don't know. It's gonna be ugly. Where are they playing? Brooklyn. Oh, they're playing in Boston. Are you kidding me? They're playing in Boston. You were talking about
your daddy cheetah. Your daddy cheetah. They'll probably be yelling at them in the middle of their putts.
Oh, no doubt about it. It's going to be ugly.
Is it the Phoenix Open where they yell?
Yeah. Scott, the Waste Management Open. That's a blast, man. I'd love to sit in one of those, what do they call them? Yeah. You know, just sit there and watch, and guy hits a hole in one. Everybody throws their beer on the green. It's wild. Yeah, Waste Management Open.
Oh man, looking forward to it. Bob Kravitz, I cannot thank you enough. It is always an enjoyable time.
Enjoyed it, my friend.
Thank you. Make sure you check out his latest on The Athletic. Be a subscriber. I am. Bob Kravitz, join us. We're back with much more here on Indiana Sports Beat, brought to you by our good friends at Feast Market and Cellar, all a part of the WOW Club. You can go there and find excellent sources of wine. They have a sommelier on staff, gourmet cheeses, sandwiches, all kinds of wonderful things. Located right next door to Southern Stone Restaurant on Patterson and Rogers in Bloomington, by the way. So check that out. We've got lots more coming up here on Indiana Sports Beat Radio. We're back with it right after this.
We'll be right back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Whether you're visiting Bloomington, holy moly. Holy moly. I kept trying to figure out what was he talking about. Ordered to what? Robert, what did you order?
It must have been something you said or someone else said. Oh, an Amazon Echo. That's what he's talking about, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I didn't say anything about Echo.
No, someone else did in the comments.
Oh, I've got an Echo and an Alexa. That little Echo's always listening, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, every time I see it, that little light spinning, I'm like, quit effing listening to me.
It's a little creepy, I will say.
Alarm clocks. Alarm clocks. He just bought 2 new alarm clocks. Where did Robert say? Robert, where did you say you're from? Central Indiana. Hey, anybody playing in this? For those of you on YouTube right now, first of all, if you haven't subscribed, please do. It helps us immensely, and hit the like button. It helps. The more likes and subscribers we have, YouTube sends it out to more people. Don't forget, while I have you off there, the Jordan Hulls golf event. Where is this link?
There it is.
I got it. This is the donation link. It's very easy to remember. mightycause.com/story/never-lose-hoop. That's where you can go donate. Become a whole sponsor. Force Gray's done it. Sam Joaquim's done it. Got a check here from Brian Sloan right here. Several others, but it's only $100. Name on sheet. You've heard me say it. Let's do this. Let's get a bunch.
All right, here we go.
Door to your door with AndyMooreHonda.com.
Come see us at the all-new Andy Moore Honda, now in Bloomington.
This segment is brought to you by Courtroom Sports Grill in Bedford. Now back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Hey, welcome back. It is Wednesday. Just wrapped it up with Bob Kravitz of The Athletic, writing down his golf event in August. Man, I hope that's not hot. Good time to be. Robert on the Andy Moore Honda hotline just says Brown County. Yeah, that sounds nice just because of the trees and all that. But even when the weather gets like this, I don't care where you are. If you're outside, it finds you because of this humidity here. We were talking about Echoes and Alexas a minute ago. Someone had John thought that someone had purchased them, but Mike says he was talking at work with some coworkers about a soap his wife watches. The next thing he knows, he's getting pages about that soap on his Facebook feed. Tell me they aren't listening all the time. Oh, I promise you, I see the same thing. I'll say, man, I need to get this. And the next thing I know, boom. So there it is. Yeah, they are. It's a good time that it gets to slow down for us. We get to catch up during the summer a little bit, but the Indiana Basketball Coaches Association Top 100 Showcase is this weekend in Brownsburg, Indiana. The Hoosier.com will be out there covering that. As I'm not sure who all will be in that, who all is going to be able to play, but that's a lot of guys. That's a lot of basketball, man. So feel free to head out that way and check that out. I think, let's see. How about my Reds? Oh, that was the Cardinals that lost that. I didn't realize that. Oh, that's got to stink. Miles Mikolas, 1 strike from throwing a no-hitter last night in a 9-1 win over the Pirates. Bottom of the 9th, Pittsburgh outfielder Cal Mitchell, a ground rule double. Man, just couldn't get to the ball. That just stinks. And the Cardinals are on a roll, man. They're in first place right now. So, can they hold on to it? We'll see. The Reds are not in last. How about that? Well, they are in the Central Division, but not in Major League Baseball, at least, which is good to see if you're a Reds fan. Let's see where they are in the My Reds. 23-39. They're only 13 games back. How far back were the A's that year of Moneyball? They were like 11 games back or something, weren't they? And this is in the Central Division, so anything's possible in the Central Division. I can't believe how horribly Pittsburgh is against Central Division opponents. They're 9-22, just a horrible record comparative to everyone else. But yep, the Reds, they're trying to get out of last. They're just a half game behind the Cubs. But I'm serious. I'm gonna start betting a little. I wish I had a better wagering guy on right now to ask him about that, because I won't bet baseball. But if it would be dumb, the Tigers. Oh wow, the 3 worst teams in baseball. Well, no, but there's some bad teams. Detroit is not good. I'm going to try that parlay deal, see how it works. I don't know if I can get anything done or not, but the Cardinals are leading. They're Central Division, so they're happy. And all the Cardinal fans, which are a lot down there in Evansville, especially. The Cardinal games carried on 97.7 The Ref. They're 37-27 right now with a 2.5 game lead. The Brewers. Oh my gosh. The Brewers, the Pirates, and the Cubs in the Central Division. In their last 10 games have gone a combined 3-27. That's right. I said a combined 3-27. All three of those teams have gone 1-9 over their last 10 games. The Reds have missed out on a grand opportunity. They went 5-5, so they broke even. So they gained ground by attrition, subtraction by attrition, I guess. But wow, 3 teams in the same division going 1-9. There's only the Athletics, who were last in the LOS, have gone 1-9. And that's it right now. This Central Division stinks. Hate to be a Pirates fan, although they're third in the division. It seems like they're having the worst year than anybody. The Reds, man, they give us hope, and then smash it away. Indiana basketball freshmen have all arrived. They're on campus, playing in Cook Hall, out doing things, having fun. I'm sure you'll be seeing social media pictures. I remember seeing CJ Gunn before the All-Star game. They were out fishing. I assume that's here at Lake Monroe, which I was telling somebody I have never been on that lake. I think there are snakes in that lake, and I'm not going in, man. Other than in a boat, maybe. But the next 3 months, these guys are going to be gelling together, and Trey Galloway is going to miss that. That's going to hamper his development some, because this is a very different team that he'll be coming back to than the team he came back was on last season. He was a big part of that team last season, and I'm not saying he can or won't be a big part of this team, but he's going to be so far behind that someone will have been given the opportunity to step up. CJ Gunn, again, keeps coming to mind to fill that spot. I don't really think anybody. Tamar Bates is not really. It's not really him. So it's a great opportunity for CJ Gunn. It really is. Not that he didn't already have the chance. Everybody does, but when you have someone out of the way, you get more time to shine. Are you telling me it's time to take a break, John?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll do that. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to Indiana Sports Beat Radio here on the Indiana Sports Beat Radio Network. Brought to you by our good friends at Courtroom Sports Bar and Grill down in Bedford. Make sure you stop by. They pride themselves on providing their guests with fresh and innovative dishes designed to please your palate and your wallet. Every item on their menu is made from scratch using only the freshest ingredients. Make sure you stop by Courtroom Sports Grill, a part of the WOW Network and the WOW Club. Make sure you sign up for the WOW Club. Go to Apple App Store or the Google Play Store and sign up. It is free. Start earning discounts, free food, and even VIP invites. They are a sponsor of IU Athletics, so you don't know. There's some stuff coming down the line. So just as a favor to us, just go sign up. Support those who support you. Back with more Indiana Sports Beat Radio right after this.
We'll be right back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Whether you're visiting Bloomington, yeah, we need a dog list, man.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Excuse me.
All right, let's see. Dustin has Biscuit.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle has Thor. Maxine. Who's Maxine? Dustin.
We should have asked Kravitz what his dog's name is. I can't remember right now.
I thought I did.
You did? Oh. Verdell has a lady.
All right. Who else? Let's see. Rick. You remember his?
He calls her the queen, but I don't know what her actual name is.
And then Chris Denari.
Yeah, I don't know what his dog's name is. Is that Maxine?
No, Maxine is Dustin Shooty.
No, he only has
Dustin DePirick.
Oh, okay. You can throw Lily in there too.
Is that yours?
Yeah, that's mine.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7. I'm sure I'm missing someone. I have to go to my dog list one day.
Does Mitchell Page have a dog?
Yeah, all lakes do have snakes. I think he does, doesn't he?
We'll have to ask him on Friday.
Yeah, all lakes do, but I don't know. I think this one has more. Anyone that's run by the
Pete says Charlie has a dog. Oh, yeah, that's right. We've seen it walking around before in his little office, but I don't remember its name.
Well, we'll have to find out. I'm gonna have to get a dog.
I think you should. I'm trying to think of what dog breed suits you best.
One that does not shed, number 1.
Okay.
One that does not bark, number 2.
I'll have to look up something and I'll pop in. That's a pretty. That eliminates a lot right there.
That book I recommended, Cornbread Mafia.
10 seconds, by the way. You can talk about this if you want. Here we go.
We should be. Ask for Indiana Sports Beat Radio. This segment is brought to you by Reynolds Family Dentistry in Sellersburg. Now back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Welcome back. I hope you're having a great Wednesday. The sun's shining, not a cloud in the sky, but man, it's like an oven. It's going to be a warm one out there, climbing up to 90 degrees today. So don't do anything strenuous if you don't have to. Coming up tomorrow, Rick Bozich will be with us, along with Sharon Wilkerson. I'm trying to think who else is the guest. Who else is the guest?
We'll have Matt Taylor and Chris Denari.
Matt Taylor and Chris Denari. And is he on tomorrow? Is Dustin on tomorrow?
No, I told him to give him a few weeks before he'd reach back out to him.
Why would you do that?
He just started. He said he wanted to give a few weeks for his new position. He just started this week. Yeah, I will reach back out to him next week and we'll see.
I'd reach out to him this week just to see because he was off last week, I think, right?
I wasn't here. I don't know.
But the good news is he's going to be able to. He's staying. He just switched positions, changed jobs. If you don't follow him on Twitter, Dustin Shooty, and it's just a fun day all the time when he's here. So, yeah, looking forward to that. And glad that he's going to get to stay. It's going to be fun. We're going to start doing even more stuff. Friday, Mitchell Page will be here, and we're going to have a little fun toward the end with doing some fun stuff. In addition to the regular, Zach Osterman from the Indy Star, Alec Lasley from the Hoosier.com, getting you updated on all things that are recruiting news as Indiana continues to make offers. I think the latest was Xavier Booker jumps to number 2 number 2 in the Rivals rankings. How about that?
Jim, I
Number
found you. I know
2.
this is off topic, but we were talking during the break about, and the reason I bring it up now is we only have a few minutes, but Jim, our boy Jim Coyle, wants a dog that doesn't bark or doesn't shed. And I have found a list with 15 different dog breeds.
Tony says it's a doorstop.
I'll give you a few that I think I can see you with. I can see you with
and one that sleeps a lot. A what?
A pug.
Well, no, but wrong.
A Cavalier King Charles Spaniel.
I don't know what that looks like, but I'm going to go no on that.
What about a Shih Tzu?
A Shih Tzu, no.
Man, you have a very
no. It would be like I'll tell you exactly. It would be like an Australian Shepherd, a Border Collie.
Well, those Australian Shepherds shed though, and so do Border Collies.
I got to
get
a
list of 15 dogs that don't.
I don't think they really shed, but I think you've got to. There's miniature versions you can get of them, I believe.
That's true.
I
think Jim needs a pug. I'm gonna try to make.
No. Listen, no, absolutely not. That is not it. But
if you think Jim needs a pug, put it in the comments.
How about Xavier Booker jumping up to number 2 in the Rivals rankings over DeJuan Wagner, by the way?
Wow.
Who Kentucky and Louisville are battling over to land his services. Justin Edwards at number 4, Kentucky, Tennessee, Auburn, Kansas. Isaiah Collier is number 5. I guess I skipped number 1. That's G.G. Jackson, a power forward out of North Carolina. We'll talk about all this with Alec on Friday in a much more in-depth look as I ride down this list, trying to see if there's any more Indiana interest. But right now, and then there's the fact that not KJ Evans, I believe, has talked about the possibility of reclassifying. So we'll see. We're about out of time, man. Yes, I agree, Tony. The rescue is the way to go. If I get a dog, it will only be a rescue. They seem to know that they're being rescued. Hey, don't forget to sign up for the Jordan Hall's Never Lose Hoop golf outing coming up, please. And if you can't play, you can become a whole sponsor simply by donating $100 or more at mightycause.com/story/never lose hoop. Very easy to remember. mightycause.com/story/never lose hoop. That's where you can donate very easily. If you're wanting to play, there's the other link that's on that flyer for that. But we'd love the support for Jordan as he is trying to raise money for area kids with cancer and build that up. And it's going to be a hell of an event. I mean, everybody's going to be there. Woody will be there. I think Tom Allen's going to be there. There's going to be other coaches there, former players there. I don't even have the complete list, but it's going to be, it's a very unusual way for you to be able to be around these people. I can tell you that. Dinner afterwards, breakfast, lunch, dinner, bagels in the morning, free lunch from Chick-fil-A, dinner in the evening. It's going to be a complete day of fun and all for a good cause. So let's get that taken care of, guys. We'd really appreciate you. Along the fact with subscribing to us here on, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to us there. And if you're listening to us on the Ref 97.7, keep doing it and tell somebody else to do so. And if you're on the Ref, keep it tuned there. We're back tomorrow to do this again. For John, the producer. Oh, no, we still got another minute to go, don't we? Don't want to end too soon.
1 minute, yep.
That was the first. Misread the clock there. Trying to think anything else that's coming up this weekend. I'm hoping to play golf Saturday because I'm not doing anything this entire week. It's too damn hot. But I've been working inside a lot. I can tell you that. But other than that, we'll get out and after it. Stay cool, man. Keep yourselves in good shape and good condition because we need to have you here back tomorrow. We appreciate you, each and every one of you, for showing up and listening each day. Cannot tell you how much we appreciate you. Support those that support you. Big thanks to Bob Kravitz and Kyle Neddenriep again. We appreciate those guys. Bob Kravitz from The Athletic. Be a subscriber. I am Kyle Neddenriep from the Indy Star. I'm also a subscriber there. Keep local papers alive. For John, the producer, I'm Jim Coyle. Until tomorrow, I will see you on the radio.
Thanks for listening to Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page for more clips and team coverage of Indiana basketball, football, and more. You can also find full episodes and tons of other content on thehoosier.com. We'll see you next time for another edition of Indiana Sports Beat Radio.